Hello everyone, welcome back to Satisfactory. A little bit we're gonna do today, but first I was thinking and running numbers and thinking and letting it run and thinking. The foundry setup I have here is a nightmare. I can put so many trains that I cannot keep 2 ores filled. I can't. I just can't. So, what I think we're going to happen here, I think I'm going to delete it all. And I did. Now I still got a bunch of belt to clean up and all that stuff first. But first, I was spending some time on the blueprint maker. In said blueprint maker, I came up with a little bit of a design for 600 copper bars per minute using the pure copper bar recipe. Now, in refineries, it is a lot easier to deal with water and copper ore only dealing with 2 ores. These are, most of them are fully overclocked. These are only at 200%, but this one is summer slooped to produce 150. And at the end, and I do have their own storage buffer built right into it, I should be getting 600 copper ingots per minute. So that should be it. I'm not too upset about this design. I think it's actually pretty clean and very stackable and modulable. You just need to supply it with water. Now, I do have a, I don't know why it blurs it out. I don't know why it blurs it out. But I don't, yeah, it kind of bothers me that it blurs it out. Like, I could put high, and why does it blur this out with the, I just don't get it. Anywho, let's see if I can just find it here. Air condenser. Now, I did get this off the Satisfactory calculator. Kind of uses the glitch where you can put the water extractor up in the air, and it still works. So when it's running, it still has the aura, but it looks like it's just pulling in moisture and puts it into the buffer. It's pretty cool. I like it. Better than me just having it floating down in the fog. So, yeah. So that is the plan. I'm going to have those feed these. These don't need much water. You can do quite a bit. You can actually do 4 of these blueprints to one 600 pipe. So 4 of these blueprints to 1 air condenser, air quotes. But wow, we need. I still need to produce 600 for 30 particle accelerators. So we're gonna need 30 of these blueprints. This is gonna be a monstrosity. No time like the present. I just gotta finish cleaning this up. Now, it has been like 10 hours of gameplay later. And yeah, wait till you see this monstrosity. So instead of that nice, neat little foundry, we now have, I actually made more of these than I need. I needed 30 of them. There's 30 particle accelerators. I made 32 just to help with the shortcomings of transportations and buffers. Each blueprint, I said, has the buffer. And if you go underneath, each line has its own buffer now. Almost. I didn't do it to these because I kind of got tired of it. But most have their own buffers. Holy mackerel. But yes, this monstrosity is done. Let's just get the coffee cup. It's the easiest. I mean, this thing is... It still needs a lot of work. I still need to gently clean up the piping. As you see, it's kind of nasty. But yeah, there's 4 blueprints per air condenser. I guess we're gonna call them. That's what they are. Going across the top. It was something. But this isn't the focus of the video today. The focus of the video today is to move on, and I need to start focusing on nuclear power. Now, I do have the blueprint to have my own nuclear power plant pretty much set up. You feed it some ores, and let's see if I can get it to pop up without crashing right here. Alright, it's locked. So yes, it's not a good representation of it, but I do have this blueprint. You feed it down here with a bunch of materials, and it gives you 12 nuclear power plants. Now, where are we going to put this? Up north, out into the water, in that gap between the natural gas well and the new coastline. A little platform I made out here. Kind of wish I put it farther out in sea, but too late. But yeah, that's the goal. That's where we're going to go with it. Now, I do have it laid down already, so we're just actually going to take to the skies here and head north. Because I would love to actually fully run that thing, but we all know I don't have the power grid for it, and it being more machines, they're a little power hungry, just a bit. Now, getting all the materials over here is going to be quite a feat, and I do have plans for that thing. But it's a decent amount out, and there's nothing really out here besides that, and it's way over there, so the radiation shouldn't be too bad. But yes, here is the blueprint built. I am going to rip this down, I think, because there's 12 in there, and they're right in the middle. And when you turn them on, this, like, for the ones down here, the smoke goes out through the side, and I don't like it. I do have a better cooling tower, which I'm going to do. I'm going to use, I think, and it's just 10. So I would... Easier numbers, I don't have to disable 2 of those, so, and it's just a nicer tower. But we're going to have trains come in, I'm going to belt everything down, and just feed it here. We don't really need... Everything's not really crazy, besides limestone, copper, and iron. Everything else is relatively same, like, well, okay. But yes, this thing is self-efficient. It makes everything right here, which is what we're going for. So I'm going to play around with the trains a little bit and get some most set up. and I'll bring you back when we're ready to grab the last 2 materials. And I want to get this whole place up and running before I turn it on. Obviously before I turn on the reactors, but as it's running and catching up and building up the speed and the trains are doing their thing, we're going to work on doing the tower and collecting the last 2 to 3 materials, if my notes are right, that we need to do. So again, here we go. So here is what we are rocking. I have 2 trains of... I'm trying for 2 trains per material. Didn't happen with the quartz and the criterium, which is okay because they don't need that much. Criterium actually needs like 500 and some, but it's fine. The iron gets in 2 spots, so, and everything is 4 trains everywhere, and I do have the iron set up from my first attempt at the pasta, so that's perfect. The limestone, I don't really have a 4 train setup, and I will explain to you what I did there. Over by the quartz, there's those in that pit. There is copper, so that's coming there. Gas, there is a well all the way over here I set up. That's bringing that in. Bauxite, I'm just going to steal from the forest again. This one is coal, and I'll show you where that's coming from. Sulfur and uranium we do not have yet. So, threw some lights on, hooked the power up, threw some power bonus generators in this place. I'm actually going to delete this, and it's just going to build up fuel rods in that container for right now. Got this kind of supported. Look, I guess it goes down. And under here, in this giant square box where my trains are coming in, is all the belt work. I have everything come down into... This is for, like, the iron ore, I believe. And it goes over into more storage and then divvied out. I have them all disconnected right now because I want to make sure everything's going to the right place. I don't want to have, like, connect this to quartz and iron comes in this belt. So it... Safety precaution, I guess, for me, so I don't have to rip that whole blueprint down. Because that is very compact. Can I get through the hole, please? And where all this stuff is coming from is that train shed that I pointed out a couple minutes, like seconds ago. But I have most of the materials coming in there. Now, I did make a note for myself on this. We have uranium. I have a plan to get it from the cave or from the tall mountain behind me. Maybe both. The criterium from under the mountain behind me. Sulfur all the way over the blue crater. There's the, like 2 or 3 pure nodes right next to each other. I'm only using one, not even fully marked, like fully marked 6 for my fuel setup. But there's this one right here. Damn. That I want to use. And bring it over. This, it's only a normal node. But like I said, I only need like 500 and some. It produces 600. I might need more, but luckily, this station has actually turned out to be pretty damn handy. Now, I have the limestone, I have all the coal here going into here. I have the, this one iron node, pure iron node. There's a copper there if I need it. And everything comes over here. Now, I do have that limestone back at the main grasslands. I have that coming in on a single train, gets fed into this, into a quad car, and I have it divvied up in between these two things. But and the node that's over there is supplying these two. Hopefully it's enough. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I might do this just to make sure I have enough. And I can always add more single trains feeding. Plus I'll have this one single node over here. And I have all these other train stations that I can mix with. Now, the challenge is... not really the challenge, but to get... do I use the node on top of the hill? Or do I brave the spiders and get it from the train station under the rock? Now, I could have this come over, the Criterium and that come over and just do... yeah, we'll just use this one. I don't know which one it's going to be. But first, we're going to get the Criterium ran for as far as I believe I want to. Don't need Mark 6 for this, so this Belt Highway Mark 5 will actually do very well for what it is. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need... why is that so high up in the air? Yeah, we're gonna need to shift this a little bit. Put it up in the air a little bit. Let me actually aim this where I need it to go. I think that's the better choice here. Blueprint connect. Connect. Oh, screw you, spitter. We're gonna hold. Put this up in the air. That is actually perfect. Now I don't need this other belt, but I'm still going to... I'm just gonna do this and delete it. I only need that one. But we need to redo this like such. Jesus. Mr. Bean scared the crap out of me. Now, I might go through and put the miner buildings on most of these miners, but that is such a tedious process. I will wait until it's pretty much off camera. That is the best way to put it. Yeah, that's an off-camera task. When I'm bored one day, you throw on some music and do what you got to do. So we're gonna do this. Connect. Now, do I want it like super high up in the air and then drop it? Or should I drop it now? Yeah, let's drop it now. It's actually a very good place to drop it. So, let's... and we're gonna micro put that up in the air. Vertical. Dabby dab. Hold. Should I go down one more? I can actually probably go down a few more. Oop, never mind, I'm in the dirt. Alright, that's gonna have to suffice. We head up here, and the inside is that. Yeah, we're gonna flip that to the outside. I mean, yeah, we're gonna flip that to here. So I can put the uranium on the inside. That's good for that. This needs to be Mark 5. Don't need anything more fancier than that. Drop that down. Drop this down. Let's clip it through that rock. I don't like that. No, don't like that at all. Maybe I should make that one match. Yeah. Might as well. Not keen on deleting stuff with uranium on the belt. And now that we're getting into the spicy rock, I should really look into automating the filters. Preferably the iodine, but you still need to do the other ones anyway, so that's a thing. Now we're gonna leave this right here. Probably gonna go down and under to where I need to go, but that is the gist of how we're gonna get the stuff over there. Now I'm gonna throw some yeah, I know there's bugs behind me. Little gnats. Throw some quick supports under this. Now this one, go from here to the sky. Should get that achievement one day of building to height limit. Okay, so that's gonna be that. Let me get rid of these bugs. You're not a tosser one, so I honestly don't care. Seriously, catch. Catch. Why aren't you playing catch with me? Rude. So rude. Anywho. Let's see here. I guess I can flip to single. Yeah, I'm gonna need it on this side. And it's gonna be coming at me, so... And we'll play around with it a bit, just so it's there. And I wish you can go left and right with the blueprint. That would be quite nice. Tell you what, give me this. There we go. It's kind of where I was aiming for, right for this gap. Down. Sheesh. Why won't you snap? Come on. Really? Really? You're not gonna let me micro adjust it to where it needs to be? Oh, it's because... No, that's even with it. Why is this being weird? Whatever. More bugs. Okay. And then get the actual thing I need. It's not 100%, but it will do. And I need this one. Let's see. Do this. Perfect. Let's go down for support. And then we're going to go up. I can't believe on some of my other playthroughs, I actually made a Spyro train. A train that literally went this entire mountaintop. We're gonna need one more. And you are in the 4 slot. Doesn't really matter. That actually really doesn't really matter. We're going to have it be in that one. We are going to lock that in. What we're gonna do here, drop it down as far as it can go. Have it switch. Instead of doing the floor hole trick, We're just gonna do it this way. And golly, it frickin' worked out. And it gives me a reason for the double frame. Alright, and we're going to need one of these. Oh, yeah, we don't have any iodine filters. Why do I not have any iodine filters on me? That's very silly of me. It's only 300. Heck, I can do this on a... Only I can do that on a Mark 3? Yeah. No, 3 is 270. Mark 4 is 480. Only bay. Alright. I'm gonna put that one there. Run the power tower. I will go through and beautify this place after. At the moment, I don't feel like dealing with it. That's kind of a off-camera task. Because I'll do something 6 times, I'll delete it and rebuild it so many freaking times. Yeah, we're gonna connect that to there. And then continue power line where it needs to go. And power. That should start giving us uranium and Criterium. Now, Criterium is a single train. Uranium is a double train. That might be reduction. I might delete one, and we'll kick it down to a single train. So this needs to go. Actually, all these need to go. So we're going to have and then the Criterium. Put the Criterium in that one, and the Spicy Rock in that one. So this would be your caps lock for uranium, for nuke, and this will be cat for nuke. Good stuff. Spicy Rock? Hello? Hello, Spicy Rock. Tell you what, an idea. Why isn't the spicy rock working? Oh! I never connected this monstrosity. And we're gonna do the same thing. You know what? I don't hate that. Spicy rock, ho. Yep, probably definitely gonna need some more criterium. Don't think that's going to be enough. Here comes the spicy rock. I put it down too low. Too bad. I ain't dealing with it. Alright, we got some spicy rock. Now, before we leave this area, I think I'm going to take a little journey back over here, and I'm going to get all the trains rolling. I do have 90, I will have every one of them over here. The trains that are ready to go already have their routes selected. I just need to turn on auto pilot. So the rest we have is Blue Crater and the cave with the spooters if I need it. Even though that's only one, I might just leave the double train. Well, I wanted to have more chews on the world. I think this is actually a very lucrative way to do it. It is only single, but it does feed into that. I might have it just for a buffer. Oh, I never set your timetable. Uranium? Uranium for nuke. And bring the nuke. Sulfur? I don't know what station that is over here. Training stations. What is this? Blue Crater. Okay. So we're just going to have you go to Blue Crater. And then back to Sofa. This is not, you are going to be hogging up the dock. Can't have that. Criterium. Timetable. Cat. Cat for nuke. Cat to nuke. Go. Go, my pretties, go. That should be all moving and grooving. Now we just got to go for a flight. Let's just turn off the train station from the map. A lot of them are just going to be going over to that booth over there. I could hook a ride with the locomotive. Yeah, we could do that. And here we are at the Blue Crater. Oh, we gotta get rid of that. That's gotta go. What the frig? Yo! Spooter! I've never encountered a spooter here. I don't know if you're dead or what. Oh, you're dead. Since when is there a spooter here? They're freaking coming out of their woodward here. Alright, so we need 2 yellow. It needs to be load, perfect. And this actually would be like really simple. Lock it in, scoot it over, pop it up. I gotta make one for, I gotta go through and update all my blueprints for every version. I think that is a very wise choice. No. There we go. We're gonna lock it in. We're gonna move it in. And we're gonna move it up. What the frig is that sound? It's a factory game. Give me a frickin' break. Oh, it ain't go low enough. And in here, I have a splitter. Feeding that one. That's getting annoying. Not gonna lie, that's getting annoying. Alright, I need to... make sure this is all... Mark 6. Even this needs to be marked 6. Da. Okay. He didn't make it. Sad face. $600. What? $300. Don't know what you're talking about. Zoop. And then we're going to do a merger. Merger. Okay, so that's going to be feeding. Dude, what's it? Why am I getting so freaked out from noises in this game right now? I thought there were 3 pure nodes. Honestly. Not a fan of getting attacked by the spooter. But it's still getting 900. It's getting 600 from that and 3 from that. Still need to go and upgrade all this to Mark 6. There's a lot of it. I gotta upgrade to Mars 6. Alright, it's already backlogged. So, good enough. It is so freaking loud. Good enough. Done. Finito. Whatever you want to call it. Blue crater. Sulfur. Sulfur. Alright, that... No idea what it's going to be doing. And that leads down to the SAM. There's a big cave underneath this rock, and it has a SAM node on it. So, with all that said and done, and the iron's coming from over there, we got the sulfur took care of, we got the uranium took care of, asterisk, the criterium took care of, asterisk. Worst comes to worst, if I need more criterium, I have a pure node sitting right next to this main base, not being used. There is a pure node that I am using right here. I think there's another one up here. There's one out in the woods here, and there is a train station like right there. So I can easily grab that one. There's this one also. But yeah, we're gonna try to grab a quick rocket and cannon here and go back. But look at that monstrosity! Oh, look at the copper bars for the powder for the nuclear pasta. I can't wait. Can't wait till I can turn it on and have everything running. But that is a spicy chunk. And what? Why aren't you? Oh, I have it set on overflow. Okay, so they assist that. That makes sense. Yay me. Look at that monstrosity. And I do want to encase it in a building. I just don't know what I'm going to do for a design. But let's head up. And hopefully, once the sulfur does another trip, we'll have everything going where it needs to be. So every container, like every belt, should have the material on it, including the gas pipe, ready to go. That I can just connect it, and then I can let it get going and start building. Alright, overpack. So uranium's already here. Quartz, limestone, iron, criterium, iron, copper to copper, coal to coal, box to box, uranium to uranium, and this would be the criterium. I mean the sulfur. What about My gas. Where's my gas? Oh, I never have it set. I didn't have it set to unload. Come back. My bad. So if that's the case, we can actually turn this on. I'm gonna wait for the criterion to get going. Copper, iron, criterium, iron, limestone, and the quartz. What else I'm gonna do here? Just put a bunch of this stuff. $480. Is that what they needed? $375. I'm stuck. So minus for the sulfur and the gas, everything should be moving and grooving. Which it is, and it's going to take quite a while for this to get going. And this setup, this whole setup actually has a plutonium fuel rod maker to sink it. So we might take advantage of that and let's let it sink, or I might add it into the mix of making the plutonium fuel rods, because we need quite a few. Quite a few. But for this situation, blueprints, do I have it on my hotbar? Don't think so. Oh, wait. I thought it was 10. It's 20. Oh. I have to see how much this makes. But that's the tower I want to use. And the designer of this tower actually put it in a flower arrangement on the top. So, just on the top. So, everything looks like it's actually producing like smoke, and it's amazing. Yeah, the pipe work is very nasty, but you see, it's huge, it's bigger. Yeah, so that has 20. I think I needed 30 nuclear reactors producing waste, and then I needed another 30 or 40 plutonium reactors making plutonium waste so I can fix the fuel rods. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something. See, the bauxite is working perfectly. It's feeding into it. That's awesome. The uranium is back. 279. And that's a 300 node. So that's actually not bad. But what did I need for uranium? 375. Yeah, I'm going to need more uranium. But if that's my shortcoming, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'll deal with that. This should all be going. I can always up the fuel rods. I can throw some summer sloops in there. I don't want to mess with the production rate because that means I gotta up the production rate of everything. I might just use summer sloops. So we'll go from there. Yeah, that max consumption just keeps going higher and higher. That is criterium. Good, good, good. This stuff is doing its thing. For a quick while. Making the satyrs, making the... Well, we're not going to get any fuel rods. I don't have any sulfur coming in. Yeah, this thing will take a long time. There's the sulfur. The sulfur's here. Sulfur. Like, even these belts. I'll probably redo these belts. So this janky stuff, I'll be... yeah, I'll be redoing this quite often, actually. Now I just need the gas to come in, too. I think that's mainly used for the plutonium rods, though. Nitric acid, sulfuric acid. Because I know I can summer sloop these and produce what I need to from these 6 for the non-fizzle uranium. Yeah, nitrogen gas is just for the... Oh, it's for nitric acid. So, okay, whatever. Ah, there she is. There she is. Good, good. And that is the nitrogen gas. We got everything coming in. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And all this is like almost fully filled up with reserves already. Radiation ticking away. Look, it might be surprised, but no, the numbers don't lie. I'm gonna have to bump up. I'm gonna have to brave the cave and kill the spooters and set up a train to that one. I don't want to do the one in the Red Forest because I don't need that much uranium, but yeah, we're gonna have to up it a little bit. But yeah, so this is done. This is ready to go. This is cooking. It is cooking. Good, good, good. So the next episode, set up that other uranium, and I think I'm gonna start working on the coolant towers. I'm gonna just place down all of them I need to. That's gonna be a lot of materials. Put it down all that we need to and try to just start setting stuff up. I do want to turn these on. And I do have a plutonium sinker, so I don't have to worry about getting backed up on tens of thousands of nuclear waste for when I push to the next phase. So, yep. We're going to go with that. I'm going to let this run for a while, let it fill up, and work on a nuclear cooling towers. And we got to get the filters automated. Maybe that'll be the next episode, doing the filters. I think that'll be a good one. But I thank you all for watching on this episode of Satisfactory. And if you made it to the end, yes, the comments, I love the comments. I love getting comments. The questions. The factory kept running because of the batteries. It's no different than having a backup battery on a solar panel system. When it's not producing from the sun, it's draining the battery, and that's what my production is so high, but I had so much energy stored and it drained it. And once the batteries go low, the priority kicks them off, so the batteries can recharge. Missing a belt in my upgrading, yeah, obviously that didn't really matter because I completely ripped it apart and redid it. But yeah, thank you all for the comments, and thank you all again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch you all in the next one. Later.